Welcome into Weekly Champions here on Wrestling Spotlight TV, coming to you on all sorts of great apps, Sports.tv, Carbon TV, Distro, Watchy, and of course True TV Plus, available on every smart TV out there, and you can download it on the Apple App Store and also on Google Play. Take it with you on any of your smart devices, phones, tablets, whatever, iPads, all 100% free, 24/7 Wrestling Spotlight TV. Gerald Bentley joined here by Sonny, the Man Eagle Cain, and it was a very hyped week of pro wrestling, right? With WrestlePalooza, the first ESPN event, and AEW's All Out, both taking place on Saturday. And really, I mean, the big takeaway is you have new women's champions. The AEW Women's World Champion is Chris Statlander, displacing Timeless Toni Storm with her new finisher, the seatbelt pinning combination. And on the WWE side, Stephanie Vacour continues her rapid ascent. She becomes a champion as well. And Sonny, and any other huge takeaways? Because outside of that, it was a fairly non-eventful couple of big events.
Well, we spoke about this at length last night on Ring Takes with Dan Daddy and the gang from Boston. They were irritated that there weren't more surprises in the lineup. They said it looked weak compared to the hype that they had given it a week or two earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And the matches were a bit too long. They said to be back-to-back matches like they had. Me personally, I enjoy a good long match. It tells a better story of the two wrestlers, in my professional opinion. And it's what I pay for. I mean, I want to see two guys go at it, two ladies go at it, and I want to see them in there long enough to feel like I've seen them. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, AEW, you're going to get that. They're going to go long, and they overlapped the WWE. Even ESPN, who just paid over $1 billion for the rights to the PLEs, they hammered WrestlePalooza and gave it a C. And said it felt like it was a setup for shows down the road and not really a big event, because here, it was WWE taking WrestleMania to Saudi Arabia after next year's Vegas show. They introduced WrestlePalooza as, hey, it's okay because this is going to be another tentpole event. And it definitely wasn't that. Now, it was the first time. Maybe they'll put more emphasis into it. And they can obviously they got a big enough roster. They can make it a 2-day event. They can make it a huge, big deal. But
that was last night too, that it could be broken down into 2 days and not quite so long. So.
Well, AEW All Out. The AEW events go a long time. The WWE, it's the opposite. When they have their PLEs now, except for the big ones, it's 5 matches, and that's it. And they're trying to hit that 2.5-hour time window. So it's not the marathon event. And, you saw John Cena get squashed by Brock Lesnar, which, I mean, I'm sure there'll be a rematch here because Lesnar's saying he wants to retire Cena. Cody Rhodes wins.
I hope it doesn't go out that way.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think he'll get the win back now. Cody Rhodes gets convincing win against Drew McIntyre. And then, just not really a whole lot there. I mean, AEW, great matches. I think you're going to see the Protostar. He's going to take a major step up. I think you're going to see a lot of Kyle Fletcher. And deservedly so. He's had an awesome year. I think he deserves all the credit he's getting. But, Eddie Kingston came back and he's going to team up with Hook. It's good to have Eddie Kingston back. He's a unique character.
Well, it brings a certain twist in the element to the ring, and that's I think that's what we need more of, are more spins. Uh, friend Ricky Morton said it best. He said, nobody wants to be a heel anymore. He said everybody wants to be a babyface now, and
Yeah,
we got to have a equal mixed bag of good and bad to keep the business alive and going. So,
yeah.
and I agree with him.
Hey guys, it's your girl Ash by Elegance, and you're watching me on Wrestling Spotlight.
Are you good with Chris Statlander becoming the women's champion?
I am. Change is always good, and I think the people deserve it to see change every now and again. I talked about this last night too, and we spoke a little bit about Mercedes Monet at length, and how much she has won this year, and how a little bit of change there would be good too. So it keeps the suspense element alive, and
Hmm.
it's good for business, I think. So
Well, and it creates something. It creates an opportunity in AEW because Tony Khan last night, his major announcement was introducing the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships, and I think it's safe to say the number one contenders right now will be Timeless Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa. So, I mean, I think you're going to get that, and then they can pair off against Taya Valkyrie and Deanna Peraza, Julia Hart and Sky Blue. So there's multiple women's tag teams that they've been establishing and have ready to go. It should really be a huge addition to their card.
wanted to ask your opinion on this. It was talked about at length last night too on Ring Takes, doing the little cross promoting here, I suppose. But it's been mentioned and maybe even rumored that Timeless Tony Storm could be going to the dark side a little bit and teaming up with John Moxley. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. They seem to be building her pairing up with Mina quite a bit, and repeating it. Chris Statlander was being pursued heavily by her old partner Wheeler Yuta, and that blew up last night. And we are going to see a six-person tag with Hangman, a couple of the ops going up against the Death Riders. So the Death Rider story isn't done yet. It's going to continue. And they're building up to Wrestle Dream in St. Louis coming up fairly soon, October 18th. I'll be at the Dynamite before Wrestle Dream in Kansas City on the 15th. So that'll be interesting to be at the Go Home show. And they usually do that. They usually go Kansas City to St. Louis or St. Louis, Kansas City, because I mean, heck, it makes sense. They're 4 hours apart, straight shot on the highway. So it's
Yes, sir.
easy for the TV trucks. WWE building to their event in Perth, Australia. That's even a bit earlier. That's October 11th. And we're going to see the beginning of Raw opened it up and kind of set it up. Seth freaking Rollins going up against Cody Rhodes for the crown jewel ring. And then that big, ridiculous, oversized belt that they keep on display in Riyadh at the WWE Experience, which is open all year there. You can tell there's a lot of money coming into the WWE from the Saudi Wealth Fund, the Saudi Sports Commission, which, hey.
What was your thoughts on the awesome interview that Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes had on Raw the other night? I thought it was
Yeah,
fantastic that they just stood
yeah.
there and had a real conversation.
No, I thought they did a really good job, and it does tie into both stories, right? Because Seth Rollins he was a big key in Cody getting the win at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. I mean, he was. And Cody referenced his old team with Moxley and Roman Reigns by saying, "You were my shield." And Seth was out there wrestling injured, and he did put his body on the line to help Cody win. And now, partially, that was just discussed towards Roman, but they were partners.
See,
And Cody said, "I want to say you're the best, but not right now because you're hiding behind these three buffoons. And it was Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed, and kind of alluding that Seth was being the cowardly heel hiding behind his lackeys. And he wants to see the real Seth Rollins, which I think every WWE fan wants to see, because they can put on an amazing match.
Two things I noticed that popped out at me being an analysis like I've ended up becoming was one, the respect that Cody Rhodes seems to have for Paul Heyman. I like the way he calls him Mr. Paul Heyman. And two, when he left the ring, everybody threw their arm out for him to pass. And I thought, uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, he waited. He was waiting for the cowardly attack to come in. Well, let's see. Let's try again here. There you go. That's better. Got the internet working now. We got the Masked Luca here joining us, and got a picture behind me of him coming out to the ring at the Great Lakes Brewery Company in Cleveland, Ohio, a place I used to do talk radio in. And you were wrestling at the restaurant that initially was a speakeasy that Elliot Ness of the Untouchables busted when he was the public safety director at Cleveland. If you look at the bar there, the bullet holes are from Elliot Ness's gun.
Oh, wow. That's pretty incredible.
It's a great venue. That's neat. Joined by Masked Luca, somebody that Sonny's mentioned a few times, kind of helping out a little bit, giving some sage wisdom, trying to be, maybe a little bit of the wise man to your Seth freaking Rollins. And
definitely.
Yeah. So let's we'll take a little bit of a break from breaking down WrestlePalooza and All Out. Talk a little bit about what's going on with your career and where you see it going with 880 Wrestling and some of the other promotions that you're competing in.
Yeah.
So take a little bit of time. Introduce yourself to the viewers.
Thanks for having me. First off, sorry for the little technical difficulties in the beginning.
Not a problem.
My name's Luca. I am a wrestler currently wrestling at 880 Wrestling in Pittsburgh. If you're a fan of indie wrestling, check us out. We have a weekly YouTube stream on indiewrestling.us. It streams every Thursday night at 8. And then we do a once a month paid show that also streams. I believe the last 3 were on the paywall, like IWTV paywall, though. So, but yeah, it's run by MV Young. He's the trainer he's my trainer. Sonny has been a big help, but my main trainer is MV Young. He runs the school, 880 Wrestling. He's got a great vision. It's 3 going on 4 years old, I believe. I could be wrong. It's maybe 4, but I think it's 3 going on 4. But they've really built it up. I've been in it. In July, it was a year, so we're in about a year and a couple months. And just the growth that it's really picking up. I can't talk enough about how good of a vision MV Young has for not only his school but the promotion of 880 Wrestling too. It's really cool to be a part of. The mention of the Cleveland show. Actually, one of our wrestlers, Casey War, he got married at that brewery, so he kind of helped parlay that helping us get there, and I believe that we were invited back next year, so we'll be doing the Cleveland show again. It was a big hit. Yeah, it was really fun. Great atmosphere. The people at the bar were very very nice, very accommodating. Nice crowd. Always fun. Yeah.
Well, and it's a couple of cities that are very similar, although they're rivals in every sport. Very passionate sports fans. Really like the combat sports, big wrestling fans. I mean, Johnny Gargano, his family ran a promotion that we feature on the channel, Pro Wrestling Ohio, and they used to have the big cards and draw a couple thousand people down to shooters on the riverfront in Cleveland. So there's definitely a market there. EC3 is running his NWA promotion out of Cleveland, Ohio. So there's still a very active wrestling community there, and I'm sure Pittsburgh is much the same.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's great. We've got a couple local promotions in the area. We work with another one, Enjoy Wrestling, and they're really building steam. They bring in some really big talent to help promote the workers that they work for. So it's been really fun to be a part of all this. It's a dream that I always wanted to do. So it's really cool to actually be doing it now, and just having too much fun.
What made you get into it? Because obviously it sounds like you've been a fan for a long time. What made you take the leap and say, okay, hey, I can do this. I'm going to
go? Timing, and I'm married. I've got a great wife. She's super supportive. She pushed me into it. We always joke around and play fight, but she would always fake push me, and then I would sell. And she was very encouraging. Like, you should give it a try. You've always wanted to talk about it. And it was like a crazy turn of events. We went to all these wrestling shows back to back. We went to SummerSlam in Detroit, and then we went to Payback in Pittsburgh, and then I went to she got me to my first WrestleMania. I never attended a live WrestleMania, and we went to WrestleMania 40.
in Philly, sure.
And and we went all out. We went to both nights. We did 16 independent shows. Prior to that, I forgot we had never been to Chicago, so she said, let's go to Chicago and see Survivor Series. So we got to see CM Punk's comeback. So it was these crazy, we were going to these live shows, and it just, you could feel it. And you're familiar with my buddy Chip. He ran the Wrestle Dads podcast.
Yeah.
So him and we saw a sign for wrestling, and I was like, we should do this. And he was like, you know what, I'll do it with you. And it was just one of those things, like the momentum of the universe, and just having the right people supporting you at the right time got me into it. And then I was honestly, I can't talk enough about 880 Wrestling and the system that they have there, because I just feel so lucky. One of my goals was to have a match, obviously, in front of people.
Yeah.
And my first match in front of people, the way they have it set up in the stream online, I'm able to go back and watch that match, and they have commentators. And that was something that I never do. When I first started, a normal indie show, it's just a live audience, not a lot of, unless you're hitting a big time show that's being streamed, you're not getting a commentator. So just to even have that, and just to help build the professionalism of the show, but just for the wrestlers too, to give them that to have as I might not make it ever, but I'm hitting things that I also never thought I would have the chance to ever do. So
yeah, that's great. And Sonny, we talked about it, that there was that time period after WCW was bought out and shut down, and ECW slowly after followed. There was nothing. There was just WWE, and it kind of crushed all that organic growth. And now you're seeing promotions all around the country that are doing really good quality wrestling. I mean, we just had Tootie Lynn Ramsey on recently, the Little Blue Dragon, and she's been able to make it onto AEW. She's now part of the regular roster at WOW, and she built up from Glory Pro in St. Louis, and then that spawned off to multiple different independent outings. Or she's a She's the top of the card star on independent levels. How hard is it, and how good is it that there are these legitimate opportunities around the country now for people like Luca, for people like a Tootie Lynn, that there's the avenue that they can make it?
Yeah,
I think it's fantastic. They finally have more roads to go down now than I did there for a while, and everything has come back. We had a little bit of Ring of Honor during the time that I was still out there. Ring of Honor just fired up a
Yeah,
little
they're
bit.
just going. Hmm.
They were doing what I call sporadic shows, show here and there. But unless you wanted to go states away to make money during that super dark period in professional wrestling that I've talked talked to Luca about. It just wasn't there in North Carolina for a few years after I stepped back for a little bit. At least I thought for a little bit. And today you have so many crossroads and intersections of how to get there that the sky's the limit. Luca and I have sat down and talked about his future a little bit, where he'd like to go, and what the possibilities are, and the potential for someone to make it that really wants to is absolutely there now. And I'm glad to see it come back full circle again. And it brings more life to the party, so to speak, when you have different leagues to draw from than what we had
Sure.
in the 2000s when Vince McMahon came through and just snapped everything up. Look, your main trainer has probably talked to you about that time period a little bit here, there, and yonder when it just dried. And it's great to see the fan. To me, it's great to see the fan base coming back to it. Uh,
Yeah, go ahead, like you were gonna say, you were gonna answer that too.
Yeah, it is really cool to see, like, I have a lot of people that were training when I first started that are about a year or 2 years ahead of me, and they're starting to get really cool opportunities just from networking and being on the same show. Like, my trainer MV Young brings in a lot of big talent to work with some of the better, more skilled guys that are like 2 or 3 years into their training to give them these opportunities, and it's really paying off. Where you're seeing guys starting to travel to New York, starting to travel to West Virginia, starting to travel to Ohio, and getting to work with people. Even like the Cleveland show, it was a really surreal moment. I went to a GCW show before SummerSlam Cleveland,
Hmm.
and two of the wrestlers that were on that show that I went to as a fan to watch were on the 880 Great Lakes Brewery show. So
Yeah.
it working with them backstage, and it's just surreal. And then I haven't even got the chance to touch on having Sonny in my back pocket, able to give me advice. I let
Hmm.
him know, what I've learned, and then he's there to help steer and push me in the right direction, and let me know from his experiences to help learn which way to steer course. And so I've just been really lucky that everyone I tell when they ask me about it is I just feel like really lucky and just having so much fun because just the timing was right. Meeting Sonny,
Yeah.
him being able to give me advice, meeting MV, him training me, and then getting to do the shows. Tonight, I actually wrestled my 44th match since I started. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah, I did the show and came right to here.
Okay. Yeah. So the hour show, the weekly show, is tonight.
Yep, every
Okay.
Thursday. I was on the
Yeah. So
pre-show tonight, but
okay.
we still did a good match, and yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Well, here, let me ask this, because I think a lot of people would be surprised. What is what's the weekly commitment of time? How much time are you putting in,
When
encompassing travel, workout, planning?
I'll work. So I'm in the best shape that I've been in a long time, and it's just a self motivation to working out to just to be a better look, to be
Hmm.
better, to be stronger, and that's been like a positive. It's got me on a really good routine. I left my notebook. I think it was about 3.5 days a week over the course of the first year between training and going to shows to do like ring crew
Hmm.
and doing shows. I think it was about 112 um, times that I did something with 880 wrestling or wrestling
Okay.
in that first year. So it was a good average of about 3 times a week.
Yeah, and so I mean, you're making a significant contribution to time. And where where do you feel the most advance in that time? Because it's only been just a little bit over a year.
Yeah, I everything's a work in progress. I'll
Yeah.
tell you, I don't want to say I'm advanced in anything because I still have so much to go. I love putting together a match. I don't get the opportunity being newer. A lot of the veterans will take
Hmm.
charge. I mean, they give me lots of opportunities to pick my spots and get my stuff in. But like tonight, it was me and two. It was a tag match. It
Okay.
was one guy that came in that I've never worked with before was my tag partner, and then two guys I've trained with. So we knew each other really well, and we got to just put the match together ourselves. And it's like really gratifying when you think of ideas for the match, and then they get the fan reaction, and then you go
Sure.
into the back and you have three or four of your coaches that tell you like, hey, great finish, really strong here, great comeback. Oh, and then like not every time's a hit either, so you're getting criticism too, which I enjoy the criticism more,
Hmm.
but obviously I enjoy a nice compliment
Yeah.
too. um, so I
Well,
think
here.
my favorite is just building a match, getting to tell a story and getting to
Yeah.
feel that crowd reaction and getting it to pay off. It's like it's one of those, I say it a lot, but it's something I thought I was at the point where I wasn't going to get the chance. And now that I am, I'm just really enjoying every moment of it.
Were you an athlete in high school or college, or is this kind of a
I did
first time
track
endeavor?
and I did
Okay.
track in high school. Yeah, I don't like to talk brag about myself, but people say that I'm pretty athletic. I still
Yeah,
got
because
it, I guess.
it's not easy. It's not easy going through a match. I mean, it's hard.
It's it that's one thing. There's and people will talk about it, but there's no amount of cardio, there's no amount of running up hills, no amount of jogging with the dogs that will ever get you prepared for match like a match. And that's still something that I'm working on is building up that endurance of in a match,
Yeah, I mean,
breathing right. And
dragging somebody's body weight is not a joke. And Sonny, I mean, you can attest to that. It's a big difference dragging somebody's body than lifting a free weight. Free weights are balanced and they don't move. A person moves and is unbalanced. It's a lot harder.
It's way harder. That's what the fanfare doesn't seem to register. I thought the guys in WWE on Monday night did a fine job when Cody said it was sports entertainment, but there was athleticism involved in every match to get to where they needed to go, and that's the
Hmm.
same thing I've been addressing here and on ring takes too. It's real art and spectacle of sorts in the ring, and that's what I've tried to help Luca with away from the ring as I critiqued the matches that he sent me. I think I've seen every match he's had, if I'm not mistaken, that brother. And
definitely.
I'll point out things to him along the way, like hook the leg after a pin and be tighter in the roll ups and this, that, and the other. And that's what the promoter looks for. The minute you walk in that door, there's a promoter somewhere in every crowd, period. And that's what the fans don't understand. They don't. as knowledgeable as they are today with the ring terms and the lingo, some still don't get the business end of the business. And the business is to keep the fans cheering and even booing. It's like our our friend from your neck of the woods said your hometown, who comes home and talks about independent wrestling from time to time with us. I can't think of his name right this second, but he said that the job is to keep the fan making noise. That's
Sure.
what
Yeah.
it's
Get that reaction. Have the pulse quicken
But
up.
it's real
Well,
hard to drag somebody four corners of the ring and touch the corners. I promise you.
yeah. Well, and Luca, what's your style? As who would you compare your style to now that you've been going for a little while?
I'm a big Jeff Hardy, Rob Van Dam fan, so I'd say my style's along those. Uh, I have a cage match profile. If you go to cage match dot, I think it's .net.
Hmm.
I'm not sure, but I didn't list a style when I submitted my information for them, and they listed me as a high flyer. So
Okay.
I'm happy. I'll take that.
So the mask ties in. So there's a little bit of a lucha libre element at play.
Oh
Little bit.
yeah, it's funny because when Chip and I started, he was like, "You're gonna be doing all these flips and stuff," and I'm like, "I could do flips, but I don't think like I'll be doing the flips. I don't think I'll get to that level." And then I was joking with a buddy I wrestled with the other day because I did one flip one time, Jeff Hardy's "Whisper in the Wind." I
Hmm.
want that was on my goal list. I want to do one "Whisper in the Wind." I don't even need to hit somebody with it. It could be a miss. I did it one time, and now everyone's like, "We want you. Hey, can you do that "Whisper in the Wind" spot in our match?" I'm doing
Yeah.
it
I'm all the
every
time.
week now.
Flip. Didn't
Oh
work.
yeah. Hey. And Sonny, I mean, it's something that I think is maybe. I mean, you'll realize it if you go back and you watch like old time Mid Atlantic wrestling from the NWA. The level that is considered basic now is highly elevated from what was in the ring in 1970s NWA,
Oh,
because you would see moves that were the devastating finisher are, rest holds now. I mean, they're not moves. You don't expect anyone to get pinned by a back suplex. No,
right.
no more,
And then,
right? You need to do more and more and more. And because of that, the level of precision that's needed is so much higher because people are so used to seeing these rapid succession, high impact moves that if you miss or look a step off on something, it's just glaring. It jumps out at you. So, I mean, do you feel that, Luca, that there's pressure to string together a lot of moves because you can't just go in there and chop, rest hold, snap mare, atomic drop. I mean, that's not going to be enough.
Yeah, I put pressure on myself. I feel personally it's probably more of self pressure because I am a little bit of a perfectionist. So I do like to be crisp. I do like to be strong with everything. Um, but like I said, I've been so lucky to have Sonny reviewing my
Hmm.
matches and my coaches. We have not only do we have MV Young who runs it, but he's brought in some great coaches like Mikey Montgomery, who's very big in the East Coast area
Hmm.
on the PWI Top 500. We got Chris LaRusso, who he's been in Ring of Honor before. He's a guy in Pittsburgh he's been here forever, but he's
Yeah.
trained Elias. He trained Thea Hale. Um, he's trained some Warlow. He trained,
Okay.
so
Yeah. Sure.
he's got some big names under his hat. And he comes in and he helps out all the time. And one of the things that they've really instilled in me, because like I said, I love putting together a match, is the putting the things. I might be able to do a bunch of cool things, but that doesn't mean I have to do all of the cool things. And it's to progress. Maybe do one. Maybe I'm doing one whisper in the wind, and that's it. I'm not going to do a moonsault. I'm not going to do a swanton. I'm just going to do the whisper in the wind. But I'm going to build to that whisper in the wind. Be it like,
Yeah.
just gradually, and then boom, you hit that, and then it's a big move, and it's dangerous, and you have to be precise. But then it has the impact because you've taken those smaller moves and you've slowly pieced it up to where the story made sense, where you're building to that big crescendo, and then it's a nice payoff. So learning tricks like that, and just like I said, putting it together, and getting it to pay off, and getting that crowd reaction, it's just something that's I just am so
Yeah.
grateful for.
Well, and I like that too, because Sonny, that's something that I know you've talked about, is that if it's a finishing move, it has to have some impact. You can't be doing
Absolutely.
it. If you do it over and over and over again, it loses some of its sting, right? I mean, the super kick, that was the move with gentleman Chris Adams back in World Class, Shawn Michaels, Sweet Chin Music. There's not a lot of matches that are finished with super kicks anymore.
They
Nope.
I think they not cut Luca off, but I think they they do too many finishing moves leading up to the big move now. I think it takes away from the heat of the match. Luke and I have talked about how to end matches and different things in our back and forth conversations, and Luke had always said have that one big finish move at the end of the match after telling the story of how it came into play, and that just looks better. Every now and then in WWE, they'll do 3, 4, 5 finish possibility moves, and the fans just sitting there going, "Well, this can't be what the wrestlers are trying
Yeah.
to make it look like."
It's
And
too soon. This isn't going to win.
yes, sir. And that comes from a little bit of inexperience. And Luke and I have talked about that too. And that's how you could tell who the more seasoned wrestlers are, because they'll take the finishing moves and make it the finishing move. In my day, I don't know how they do it now in Luca's time, but in my day, you sat down with whoever the veteran was, and I had the privilege of being the veteran a lot of times toward the last years of my career. And I'd go over 3 moves. I'd say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and this is a finish, boom. The rest, you went along once out there, but you worked the entire ring to make it make sense. And I've been able to teach Luca this over a period of time. He's begun to incorporate that, and it's so much better looking to me because it brings out the athleticism in the match, and that's important. You can't just have to finish a move without telling the story.
Yeah, no, that absolutely makes sense. And I liked seeing, this is here just to seg a little bit into something that was on AEW just this week on Dynamite that I liked seeing, because you devalue moves when you never win with it. All right. The Future Shock DDT. I don't know. When's the last time Drew won a match with it? He never wins a match with it.
Exactly.
Hangman Adam Page last night won the match with the Deadeye. And honestly, I think it may have been 2-3 years since he had a pin with the Deadeye. So I think that's good to, hey, this is a devastating move. And it looks great. Okay, well, eventually you got to win with it, right? And he beat Lee Moriarty with the Deadeye. I thought that was good. That was refreshing to see. Okay, he's got other moves in his arsenal he can win with. It doesn't absolutely have to be taking the guy down and setting up for the buckshot lariat, because that's what I thought was coming, but he actually got the 1, 2, 3 with the Deadeye, and I think the fans were probably shocked he got the W with it.
Well, in my day, we had Dean Malenko and the Man of 1,000 Holds, and he literally had 1,000 tricks in his sleeve that he could do at any given time. But you might take a move like a missed-cross body and then roll the guy into a small package, and then that doesn't go, and he rolls you back into a small package, and he gets you. Well, that's still 3 moves. It's not missed cross body, do a DDT slam in the center of the ring. Somebody gets back up from that who just got slammed. It's just it's hard to watch sometimes.
Now,
from my perspective.
I think you're slighting Chris Jericho though, because he was the man of 1,003 holds.
Well,
until they looked at his list and he had side headlock written down 4 times. Well, but yeah, I mean, what do you think about that, Luca? How many? I mean, what is a good move set? How many moves do you need? Because it's a lot more now than it used to be.
Yeah. So I'm still pretty new. I'd personally like to have a variety of moves and then incorporate them. So I'm not doing the same moves week after week. I'm like you to touch on a finisher. I have a finisher. I've maybe done it 3 times. I've won 3 times.
Okay.
So I'm not. I'm trying to be smart. Where I'm playing a role. If I'm going in and I know I'm fighting someone strong, I'm not gonna just do my move. Try to get a move in just to get it in to just people to see it. I want each move to mean something. I want each series to be building to, if I'm doing something in the beginning of the match, there's going to be a reason I'm doing something at the end of the match to try to correlate from the beginning to the end and tell a full story from beginning to end.
Yeah, no, absolutely, because that's definitely important, and that's where the story, that's where the fan enthusiasm, that's where it all comes together and catches. Well, hey, just to hit back on 880 Wrestling. So is it the weekly show, is it at the same location each week?
Yeah. So when I started, we were in New Kensington. That's where they opened it, a little outside of Pittsburgh. But since the beginning of this year, January 2025, we moved to the south side of Pittsburgh, right downtown. We opened up the garage door. You could see the skyline of the city in the backdrop. It's got a real early ECW feel to it. We've got a really good group of people that even used to come to every show in New Kensington, and it's about a 20-minute drive now. They make that 20-minute trip. We're getting a lot more people from the city coming in to seeing us, so we're getting really good crowds. Yeah, it's in the south side of Pittsburgh. It's a little off. It's 1010 Freiburg Street. If anyone's in the Pittsburgh area or surrounding area and wants to come see some good independent wrestling on Thursday nights, come check us out, or always watch us on YouTube.
Pittsburgh's a great sports city too. Terrific downtown. I really enjoyed going up to catch Pirates games there. Pirates need to spend a little bit of money on players, but it is a great sports city. Well, and something I wanted to just touch on, because I think this is huge, and I know kind of talked about it with Tootie as well. There's such a value to knowing that every match now is in fact on television somewhere, on YouTube, on one of the apps, on our channel. And you're literally only one match away from making a connection with somebody in a GCW, in the NWA.
Yes,
I mean, the NWA has a bunch of wrestlers from the Pittsburgh area. Danny Deals is, from Cleveland originally. EC3, Pretty Boy Smooth. I mean, they have a lot of connections from just that area. That's a nationwide promotion on the Roku channel. Ring of Honor is always kind of looking. And then you have WWE ID and Evolve So how much is that a motivation?
Yeah,
I mean, the home promotions are awesome, and it's great to have something like an 880, like a Glory Pro, like a Central States. But is there that extra motivation knowing that, hey, I may just be one good match away from somebody at WWE Evolve or Ring of Honor saying, hey, we're going to be here next month. We'd like you to come on and have a match.
honestly, I honestly don't even think about that.
Okay.
Maybe I should.
Oh,
I'm
I
just
know.
trying. I'm just. I describe it as surreal. I'm still just like living in the moment where
Yeah,
even if it ended tomorrow, I've got to do things. It doesn't have to be. I don't think I would be bitter at this stage. Like it would be great. Don't get me wrong. I would 100% drop everything to make it if I got a WWE or AEW or Ring of Honor call to go
sure.
do a match there and get to show it off. I would 100% love that. But I'm just enjoying living in the moment, getting to
Yeah,
hit these
absolutely.
like mini goals, like doing things like a twist or a whisper in the wind. Oddly enough, I wanted to get put through a table. I got to do that. Having a match, it's like having a match and then making my own match. There's these. I've set little like mini goals for myself, and it's
Sure.
just I keep checking them off and checking them off. So maybe once I start running out of mini goals, then bigger like promotions might start creeping in.
Yeah, well, it's a
Um,
buildup, right?
yeah. I did just get a big booking in Cleveland again. It's will be outside of 880. It's just a like a wrestling and rock and roll show. It's not really
Uh-huh.
with a promotion. But I'll be out October 18th back in Cleveland to do a
Okay.
show.
Awesome.
Um, I don't have many details. I just found out about the booking earlier this week. But if you guys find me on social media, I'm at the Masked Luca on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram,
Yeah,
Facebook.
everything.
Yeah, even chess.com. If you're a chess fan, send me a
Okay.
chess invite. We'll play chess. I'm on at the Masked Luca.
There you go. Well, a little mental wrestling with chess. Well, hey, obviously,
Oh,
I mean,
I not to
yeah,
interrupt, but I can't forget a very important one. If you're watching this and you'd like to book me and you're seeing some of my stuff online,
absolutely. Shoot an
I'm
email.
also at themaskedluca@gmail.com. You can email me there to send a booking if you'd like.
Oh, 100%. Well, given your itinerary of traveling to different wrestling shows, I imagine you're a fairly big fan. What was your takeaway to the two big shows that we just had last week, WrestlePalooza and All Out?
Um, I love them all. I'm one of the fans that like I don't watch it to pick it up like to make it look bad or tell you like, well,
Hmm.
this could be better. I look at it at like the things just how great it is. Like the storytelling in WWE, I
Yeah,
feel is just so great compared to what it was maybe 5, 10 years ago. Um, I was a big fan of Triple H's NXT, the very beginning NXT. So
hmm,
I really think that see similarities between what's on the main roster right now that he's doing to what was back then. So I'm a fan of so much.
yeah.
Fan of Seth. I was a huge Shield fan, so it's cool to see Seth. It's cool to see Roman become the megastar that he's played out. Sami Zayn, I'm a huge Sami Zayn fan, so I love what he's been able to accomplish. I'm a big Will Ospreay fan, so I love that
Hmm.
he's on the main stage in AEW. A huge Young Buck. I've followed Being the Elite YouTube series when that
Okay,
was very
sure.
active. So yeah, I was at they did Ring of Honor versus New Japan War of the Worlds in Pittsburgh, and I got to go see Kenny and Cody was still in that, and the Bucks. So just to see them on the main stage, like I just enjoy it all. I think AEW had hit a rough patch even a little bit, but they've seemed to really put things back together. So yeah, I love to see everyone succeeding and everyone putting on great matches, and the storylines evolving. And I love the storyline with the Death Riders and who's going to take them out. And Darby's back to be that almost like a Sting NWO
Yeah,
from
very
back
much so.
then. So it's just cool to see just um, everything progressing in such a good manner right now.
Yeah, I think both promotions are clicking. AEW kind of working their way through some injuries. They got Orange Cassidy back last night, so that's a big return because they are going to be missing. They're missing Swerve. He's going to be back pretty soon. It was just a knee cartilage scope, and he was already rehabbing the day after the surgery. Will Ospreay going to be a while longer. I think Will Ospreay is probably shooting for being back at All In next year in London. Just had successful neck surgery this week, so he's going to be out for a little while. But they're starting to get the pieces back in place, and they got an extremely deep roster. It was good to see one of your hometown guys, Lee Moriarty, Tiger Style from Pittsburgh. He got featured, and he's been doing great work in Ring of Honor as the pure champion. But it was good to see him on the big show, AEW Dynamite.
It was
Good
great
match,
to see him featured.
losing effort, but he's a good competitor. And anybody else that's jumping out at you in either company that's just standing out as somebody who's really making waves?
I'm a big Sol Roca fan. If I'm going to give like someone that's still not really made it, but I think she's great. She's like a female Jeff Hardy. I think when she
Doing
hits the main
great in
roster,
NXT.
she's going to be like someone to really make some waves to play off her gimmick. But no, I do think she's great. But not to cut this short, but I do have to cut it short a little bit.
Oh, you're fine.
I had a kind of a long day. I appreciate you guys coming on. I'd love to come back anytime if you guys would have me back.
Sure, yeah. Love to have
One
you.
last pitch is I'll give you guys to watch 880 Wrestling on YouTube.
Absolutely.
You just search it or indiewrestling.us and find me on social medias at the Masked Luca.
That's great. And promoters, you can email him too at themaskluca@gmail.com. Hey, thanks for stepping in. Really appreciate it. And we're wrapping it up as it is, because the clock on the wall is ticking tall. It's about time to say that's all. So let's go with our champion of the week, and then we'll wrap it up.
Hey guys, it's your girl Ash by Elegance, and you're watching me on Wrestling Spotlight.
Let's see. Luca, I'll just ask you first, as we're winding it down here. Do you have a champion of the week?
I'll go CM Punk and AJ.
Okay, yeah, that was big. Yeah, they had a huge match and get the win. Her first match back in over a decade. Sonny.
Yes, sir. My champion of the week, and I hope I get his last name right, is J.D. McDonough of Judgment Day. He had a horrendous match against a Barbarian Brute wrestler, and did real well for himself. And just really impressed me with the beating that he got and the recovery that he was able to make at the tail end of the match. So
yeah, he can take a beating. I'm gonna go. Speaking of taking beatings, I'm gonna go with Chris Statlander. She was an AEW original and seemed to be destined to be the world champion in her first year or two, and then suffered 2 ACL injuries. She's had to deal with a lot of injuries. Has come back. This is one of the best runs of her career. Chris Statlander, you knew, AEW Women's World Champion. So it's great to see her, an AEW original, back up on top of the division. And then, like I said, that sets up that AEW women's tag team for Timeless Tony Storm to pair with Mina and maybe make a run there. Well, with that, we'll wrap it up here on Wrestling Spotlight TV Weekly Champions. Want to thank our special guest, the Masked Luca from 880 Wrestling. And you can find him, just search the Masked Luca on any social media. And Sonny, people want to touch base with you. What's the best way to do that?
Well, I had a commentary this week, but we could get to it next week if you would like
to.
Best
we're up against the time.
Is Real Sonny Cain at Sonny Cain on X. Facebook, Sonny Cain at the Man Eagle on Facebook. Instagram, Sonny Cain at Sonny Cain the Man Eagle on Instagram. Had some pickup followers there this week. Don't know how that happened other than Ring Takes plugging me there. So maybe that led to a burst.
Well, and hey, what's the just a promo for next week? Who is your person that you're going to be focusing in on?
So my person that I'm going to be focusing in on next week is AEW's Red Death.
Daniel Garcia.
That written up today, and have just thoroughly enjoyed chatting with Luca. It's the first time I've seen him in about a year and 3 months, as he's been training hard, trying to get noticed.
Well, I know it was great to have him on. It's good to get the insight from the people that are in there and fighting the fight. Well, stay tuned here to Wrestling Spotlight TV. We got some great independent wrestling coming to you from Pro South, from Glory Pro, from Wrestle Arts, from Fountain City, Central States, POW, Ohio Pro Wrestling, and more right here 24/7. Download that True TV Plus app. You can take it with you anywhere you go. Until next week, we'll see you here in the ring and welcome you to Tag In. Have a great night.